Hello, welcome. I'm Leila. Today I am going to do this. This I've started on a previous video, so now it's time to try finish it. Not finish it off. I think that's something else. My paper, Fabriano Artistico, 100% cotton, cold pressed, and 300 GSM. That equals 140 pounds. I say pounds. If you know, you know. And I'm doing my watercolors, and I'm using Winsor & Newton as always, and a little different variety of brushes, and I thought I would go for this one as well. These are a couple of new ones that I unboxed in a previous video, so I'll try those out as well as some others. And let me adjust the camera and we'll get going. Okay, here we are, and my new brushes here, I took 2 of them. Remember, when they are new, there's a sort of a film on these, which makes them a bit, you can't bend them. And don't try to bend them with your hands or your fingers, because then you might actually, harm the bristles. Instead, you take your water. This is clean water, even though it doesn't look like it. But and then you just swivel it round. I tend not to dip my brush in over the ferrule. This thing should be the ferrule, if I'm not all mistaken. And you just swivel it round, so then this thing that were in here is gone and the bristles are now soft and bendable. So that's how you do that if you want your brushes to stay alive for longer. And the same thing with this one. I just swivel it around here for a bit, like that. Okay, good. And I've prepared my my colors, my paints, and I thought I'd start with some of these green leaves. See if I can get something more onto those, because right now it's not that much. You could say this is the ugliest stage of a painting. There's always such a stage, but we want to get beyond that. I'll start here in the corner. Let's see, where am I there? It could be okay, I don't know if this would be the right brush for this thing actually, but I'm just going in for it because this is supposed to be a loose painting, and even if you don't think it at first, with a little work on it, it just might transform to something a bit better looking. I'm sorry I don't have any music, because I prefer myself to watch YouTubers without music. I think, well, at least while they're talking, I mean. It's very, they can have music on when it's suitable, of course. And well, of course, everybody does what they want themselves. It's just that I prefer no music while talking. And who knows, if I do a outdoor thing someday and show the nature, that would be proper with music, wouldn't it? So you never know, that might happen. I'm not saying I'm against it totally. That's not what I'm saying at all. I've come to the understanding you have to be extra careful what you say. People might get offended or misunderstand or whatever, but not you, of course, not you. Okay, so here are some nuances in the color, and I think it's already getting there a bit. It's the magic of color, really. And I think I'll do one like that. Oh, now you see my water is drying on the brush, and I get these dry on dry marks. I'm not aiming for those right now. Those could be good in another context, but not here. But I'll go along and we'll see what will occur. And the very fascinating thing with watercolor, I think, is that the more you put in the yes, how should I say that? If you keep adding, you get a more vibrant, a more painting and more depth in your painting. Okay, that's enough of this color. I'll just wash out the paint from the brush and dry it off a little bit on a paper. You say different in UK and in the States. This is a paper, yeah, what is it? It's kitchen paper in the UK, but a paper towel in the United States. And then I wonder, what's it called in Australia, for example? And what do the Kiwis call it? If you know, please tell. Let's see. Okay, I'll go for another one. I think I will throw in some yellowish greenish. Could you say that? Yellowish greenish? No, that's something I just made up. A yellowish green. Could you say that perhaps? A yellowish green. Yes, that sounds better. And of course, when you are mixing all your colors, you come up with new varieties, and you can call them whatever you want. Isn't that nice? Let's see here. I'm testing my color here on just a little something. Yes, we could do that. Let's see. Should I do this one brush, or should I change? I can go with this a little bit more perhaps. Let's do, because we don't want it, at least I don't want it precisely accurate. I want it a bit loose. And yellow and green, those are two of my absolute favorite colors. And, well, you can say almost all colors are favorites, but especially green and yellow. Okay. Once, many years ago, I was visiting a friend, and her sisters were artists, Those were a bit older than my friend. And we secretly looked into one of the sisters' rooms, which we weren't allowed, really, but we did anyway. Naughty us. And she had a little thing on her wall. What do you call this then? A little picture, but it wasn't a picture. It was words she had written on it, and it said, "Black, grey, and white are also colors." And that's true. I found that very nice. I laughed a bit of, and I've never forgotten it. It's how many years ago? Must have been, well, you can probably pick whichever number and you'll be not close anyway. It's a long time ago. But that's nice. And these sisters have actually written books on decorating houses and doing all kinds of artist things. Preferably with I forgot the word. You know, the thing that you put in your sewing machine and make clothes. Fabric. That's the word. And I have got some of their books. So that's nice. They turn their hobby into actual business. And I think they're quite successful. Okay, we've gotten so far this. You can see, I hope. Well, okay. I'll leave it at that for the greens anyway. And I think I'll go in with some of the blue, because I think I want to highlight those blobs that are there right now. And I'll try this brush with a little more pointy edge here. And I go for the blue, as I said. Okay, I wet my brush here. And I've got some blue already mixed up here, or rather they're pure colors. It's cerulean blue, if that's how you pronounce it, and it's French ultramarine. And I'll take one of this, maybe. No, I think that's the one that's actually in there already. I mix it up with some French ultramarine to get a little more hue in it, and I'll just dot it in here. Should I don't know, I don't really have a plan for it, but I just go in because it's good to have no plan here, because it's going to be loose, as I said. And I shouldn't paint in that part of the paper first, I should paint here, so not to get my hand into the new paint. That would not be very good. And you can still see, yes, I'm in the frame, and I'm very lucky about that. I'm very happy about that. I mean, oh, perhaps I'm lucky as well. I had a few incidents before where my head was in the way. And if you've seen those, I do apologize. I have now tried to adjust so that it won't happen again. But, well, I'm only human, so I try to avoid it anyway. I do my best. And maybe even I should try have some settings for my camera that is more above my table where I work. I've seen others having those, and maybe that's a better way to avoid mistakes and getting the head into the scenery, as well, so to speak. Okay, I've got a little, I don't think I'm totally satisfied with these, but I need some more, and I could actually, if I put green, no, if I try to brighten these up with yellow, there's a risk it'll turn grey. No, sorry, grey, I mean green. And I don't want that. So maybe I should just leave this to dry a bit. That was a bit too soft too. I need more colors here, more pigment. And now I've got maybe too much water on my brush here. I'm just checking to see that my head is not in the way. I think I'm good here. I think I'm good here. I tend to talk a bit, well, I don't know what you call it. I hope you can understand me all right, because as you know, English is not my native language. Is that what you say? It's not my mother's tongue. We call it in Swedish. Okay. And this has been a while to come here to part 2 of this picture, of this painting. If you painted along in the first part I did, and if so, I'm sorry if you've been waiting for part 2, but now it's here. Okay, maybe so. If I try to lift this up a bit, so as you can see, it's just blobs, actually, really. But blobs could be beautiful blobs if you're lucky. And let's see. Oh, sorry about the noise. Let's do something about the yellow things here. And as I said, you could add to this painting as much as you want. Because if you haven't seen the before, well, I don't think you have. This is my inspiration to this one, and as you can see, they're not. I should show you properly. They're not exactly the same. The vase, for instance, is not the same, and here are many more flowers on this one. And also, if you wanted, you could later on fill it in with a ink pen, and then it would transform totally. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. Let's just wait and see. And now I go in with some yellow, and I've mixed up some lemon cadfree, and I've got some lemon cadfree and yellow cadfree and yellow deep cadfree, and I mix them together in different more of this and more of the other, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you do. That was a bit blobby. Did you see it? This one, yes. So I'll just pick the paint up a bit with my paper. And now I don't know what I'm doing. Never mind. Remember, no details. Keep it loose. I just want some shadings here, if you will, just to get some varieties and some depth in here. And you can see it. You can almost okay. I'll try to remember to. Where are we now? We're up here. Yes. And just fill it in a bit. And like that. I don't know what kind of flowers this would represent in real life. Maybe there aren't any looking like this, but that's not the point. The point is to get paint in. No, I mean colors. You have to get colors into your painting. I do some more here because I thought that was a bit too little. And okay. And as you know, watercolor tends to fade when it dries, so you might have to go in again and put some more pigment in. And okay, and as you might notice, I have not taken into account where the light is coming from. Right now it's a little bit of everywhere, but I think that will be all right anyway. I don't mind. Okay. Yes, we've got some yellow things in here now. And I should perhaps go back to the, is it foliage? These green foliage, I think it is, foliage. And we need some more green variety here. Which should we do? I think I'm in for a brighter one. Am I? Maybe. Let's see if we can mix something up. Do you want to see me mixing? Here I've got some lemon yellow, and I'm mixing in some olive green and a little more water because I want this kind of creamy, and I dab it on my swatch paper here to see what we're getting. Yes, let's do that one. So I try to fill my brush here with colors, with the paint, and I'll start back here. Can you see it there? Oh, almost, if my hand isn't in the way. Let's just do this. I'm trying to be light with my hand, like that. And now I can't because I'm concentrating. Like this. I can see I have some small lines from my graphite pencil, so I'll try to cover those up, which you sometimes can and sometimes you can't, depending on what color you're using. I have previously erased them, but some of them were still in there, but I think it's all right anyway. And let's do this one. Could you see this one? Where am I? I'm out there. Okay. And down there. Okay. And then it's the classic question of when to stop. Well, I think I stop with the green here. I can always come back. There's no law against that. Okay, and I'll go in with the red. And the red, I'm not really sure how I'm going to tackle that. I'm not precisely content with how it is right now, but we'll keep on, as I say, never give up. Keep adding and well, suddenly you might be onto something. And now I'm on my Scarlet Cat-Free Red. This will be interesting. Should I do something or should I just blob it in? I should blob it in since this is going to be a loose thing. Be brave, Leila. Just, I don't know if I want to do it this way, but well, it sort of became something like that. Not sure at all, but let's go ahead by all means. And probably these lines that I'm doing now are so pale that when this dries, it won't be showing that much, I guess. But it's a start. This video is going to be quite long now, I guess. That wasn't... okay, never mind. And a little one. You can't see that one. There's a little one in here, and now I need more paint on my brush. I dip it in some water and more color, more paint. Oh, that's too much water on my brush, but luckily we can soak it up with a paper, kitchen paper. That's good. So let's try again. I go in for some more color and I check it out on my... Did you see that, or did I did it, yeah, like that. So I'll just give it a little check. It's still okay. So now the paper is a bit wet. That's why let's leave that for now. And this one is a bit pale, trying to get in there with more colors. And I wonder if these colors are so pale now that will the camera pick them up? I can put the paper closer to the camera in a while so you can perhaps see what I did. A little more paint and a little more water and mix it and try it out on my paper, not to get too much water in it. I think this was too little water, perhaps. Let's see here. That was my... because now they're too red, and I can soften the hue with a little more water, like this. That's better. So it won't be a total shock when it hits the paper. Maybe it was, but well, now it's done. I don't know. Yeah. It'll be what it will be. Okay. We'll just... well, and now I've got a darker red here, or rather not so much water in it as the previous layer, which means the color will be darker. Let's do this little one, see what... okay, it's now dry anyway, that's good. I'll just do that. And this one... let's try do this and make it look like and I shouldn't try making it look like something special. I should just get paint in, because it's a loose painting, this. That's what I'll have to keep reminding myself of. And soon I've put too much in here and it's too much details. Okay. That's what you tend to do, isn't it? Okay, I'll leave just this one as well. Like that somehow. I don't know. Okay. And now I go for... what should we do? Should we try the vase? There's a little vase in here. I know this is going to be a long video now, but well, some has to be, and if you don't want to look at it, you can always speed up the you can speed up the film so it goes a bit faster. if you want to. Let's see. Now I want a very watery kind of blue, and this one is too much color. Here, something like this, but let's see. Be brave. And we've got this thing here, so I put this up a bit and see if I can actually see my lines that I did. I need to be careful here. Let's see where this goes. And the stems should be inside the bucket. No, it's not a bucket. It's it's a vase. And let's see if we can get something like this. And okay, and I want a little so that you can see the bottom of the vase. Something like this. Maybe not perfect, but as good as it gets. And now to get the transparency of this, should I try to make something here? If I go softly here, if I do that to get this, the bottom to be in the distance, I don't, it's this thing with a perspective. But I remember it's a loose painting, so I don't have to be really accurate. I can do it in a playful way, like this. Okay, and a little more blue. Let's see. It's getting there, isn't it? Should we take a closer look? Something like this. Is it possible to see? I hope so. And yeah. And I'm testing my, we could have another one. If we have the shadow there, where should this one be? Let's just try some. I think it's a little too much here now. Okay, no panic. We'll just get it off. And like this, sort of. Yeah. Okay, and I'll just do a little here. I'm not This is a hand blown vase, so then you should have these marks in underneath it here. Something like that anyway. All right, am I satisfied with this? I think I am. Okay. So if you compare this to what it was in the beginning of this film, it has evolved. If it was better or worse, it's not for me to say, but I like it so far. Okay, I can change the camera so we can all see better.